Hey everybody, it's Yusuf for Dad's Freetime Game Reviews, where I review the games that I play when no one needs me. This time I'm talking about Rayman Origins. Man, is it a ill game. Now, there's not much of a story to this game, that's why I didn't put it up on the Let's Play. Rayman is just sitting on his butt, and then he gets wind that the ladies, the fairies that live in the forest, are in trouble, so he just gets up with his friends and rolls out. So it's basically just save the princess scenario, but there's a ton of princesses, and every time you save a princess, she gives you a special gift. As you progress along in the game, you use these gifts to help you platform. You know, it adds a little bit of something interesting into the platform. And then by the end of the game, you have to use everything to get the bad guy. You know, the same thing that happens all the time in any of these platforming games, right? Now, the reason I got a hold of this game for Xbox 360 was because I checked out some other reviews from some other notable YouTube guys that I like, and they basically said that this game was way awesome. However, I get the feeling that they didn't actually finish the game. They played the game about midway through and tried to see if they could understand the gist, and then they told everybody how great it was. Well, I finished the game, and let me tell you, the difficulty level ramped up at the end like crazy. Now, first of all, let me go ahead and point out some things that I love out of the game right out the bat, all right? The music was very beautiful, it was very smooth, and it really made you feel like you were going to the beach or something, just kicking it. You know, it was a game that I could play the music in the house, and it would make my wife feel good, even though she wasn't playing the game, you know? Happy wife, happy life, right? I mean, that's one of the greatest things about this game is that the whole vibe of the game is just enjoyable. I mean, I've never really played a game that really had a good feel about it right off the bat. Like, if you played a game like Super Mario Brothers and they played the Super Mario theme song over and over again, you would kind of start to like it, and then it gets stuck in your head, just like normal music gets stuck in your head when they play it on the radio about 1,000,000 times. This music was instantly good, and that made me feel great. I love playing the game, and I was bobbing my head to the songs too. Also, when you get to the water stage, it is the best water stage I've ever played in my life. My favorite music in the game was in the water stage, and also your control of Rayman in the water stage was way dope. It was so good that it was very enjoyable. And that's good. I mean, the control of Rayman was really excellent because you would have to get these awards to try and get the ruby teeth for a monk. It was kind of weird. Every stage has some goals that you need to get, whether it's getting the little yellow men or whether it's running through the stage at a record time so you can get a award, or it's finding secret areas so that you can free up guys that are all being held hostage. And as you would complete these challenges in every stage, you would get these little happy faces, and you would use those happy faces to go towards your ability to get a ruby tooth for the monk. But before you get that, you would have to chase a treasure chest through a stage. It was very difficult. I mean, this was the hardest part. I'm not a speed run guy. I'm not a guy who jumps out there and tries to beat times, but I found myself doing that with this game a lot. And that was all right. I mean, it was okay because the controls were so nice that it was very enjoyable trying to run through these things. If something happened that was wrong, I knew it was my fault and not a game program problem or anything like that. Now, of course, after you run through a bunch of stages, you would get to an end boss. You would fight these end bosses by going through a pattern, memorizing the pattern, hitting the boils whenever they pop up, and you get to hit about 3 boils per boss, and then you're pretty much done with that stage, right? Now here's the part that got me, all right? I was finishing up on the game. I thought it was at the end, and then all of a sudden the game flipped the script on me and told me that I couldn't continue finishing up the game without having a certain amount of awards, smiley faces, if you will, in order to continue. And I thought that the smiley faces were just something that you would use to get, the rubies in the middle of each stage, because you'd need a certain amount of them for you to battle or run after the treasure chest. But then I found out that they would not let you fight a lot of the end bosses unless you had a certain amount of smiley faces. And I got lucky because I started this game when I wanted to be more of a completionist. So I was spending my time on the game, running through the stages, making sure I got a lot of smiley faces. I wasn't too far off on these smiley faces, and plus I was very used to the way that Rayman runs, the way that Rayman jumps, the way that Rayman does everything. Now let me go ahead and say this. The controls on Rayman are super, super sensitive. All right, if you tap the jump button, Rayman will jump a little bit. If you hold the jump button, Rayman will jump a lot. You basically control how high he jumps in between just by holding the button any bit longer than you need it to. All right, so it made for the platforming to be super intricate, especially when you're chasing that damn chest. I mean, I couldn't believe how well I was able to memorize patterns after I did them about 8 million times trying to chase one damn chest. Now don't worry, I'm not going to spoil the game, but I will tell you that there are 2 endings. You get one ending for completing the game on normal, beating all of the bosses, and then going to the different world to fight the bad guy. You get your ending that way. And then there's the ending where you collect enough smiley faces so that you can give the monk all his teeth, and then he lets you go into the netherworld, or as they call it, the land of the living dead. And then you gotta do these crazy speed runs just to get to the boss. I mean, I rolled into the land of the living dead thinking that it was like a hub or something. Maybe I needed to talk to some people. I was going to get like a gift or something. But no, apparently I didn't know the story. I didn't have any idea what the monk wanted me to do. Because when I went in there, it was game on. You need to fucking run your ass through this thing. Rayman has a very interesting way of platforming. You see, if he starts running from 0, he does this little kind of weird run in which, a cartoony run in which he doesn't gain speed. He just kind of runs in place for a second. That's all well and good until you actually need to do some of these speed runs, and you realize that you're not going to be able to get your timing correct if you stop in the middle of your speed run. So you're not really doing a speed run for time. You have to run fast so that you can get up the momentum to move through the stage. Man, I died so many times. I just had to shut off that thing in the back of my head that saw me fail. And then on top of that, Rayman's just sitting there with his smile. Like, Rayman runs, he does everything with a big smile on his face. After you died about 80 times, the shit wasn't funny, bro. It was not cool. And then Rayman, every time you would just stop and start back up, and Rayman would just have this big old smile on his face like he's just enjoying his million deaths, you know? I would like to point out one of the best things about this game is that when you die, you respawn immediately, okay? You don't have a chance to think about whether or not you should play some more. It doesn't really give you a chance to fail, you know? It doesn't tell you that your game is over. It doesn't ask you if you want to continue. It doesn't give you a number of people that dwindle down like Mega Man or some shit. You die, you go back to the checkpoint in a millisecond. Kudos to the programmers of this game because they did such a great job tightening it up. Normally when I play games, at the end, the games get a little glitchy. You know what I'm saying? They start to slip and you've just played like 90% of the game. You need to finish this 10%. And it just kind of like you get stuck in walls or stupid shit starts happening. It's indicative of knowing that the programmers just started to have that deadline creep up on them and they just needed to get this game out of the door the time they said they were going to get it out. And you know, you're going to suffer for it now trying to finish the game with, you know, a boss that wasn't really well thought out and all of this crap. You know what I'm saying? But this game, it was completely done all the way to the end. I mean, I'm very impressed with this game. I've never died so much and been happy about it. Now, I might not go back to the game for a very long time. I mean, I stopped this game in the middle and then didn't play it for a couple of months and then picked it back up thinking I'm gonna finish this game. And I was in for a surprise because I had to bust my ass to try and finish this game. And that's something that's weird to me because I watched a couple of reviews on this and I never really heard anybody say any of this stuff about the ending. They should let you know that the ending is hard as balls. I mean, I feel like I got street cred when it comes to platforming now. That's how much of a pain in the ass it is. As a matter of fact, I'll probably just post some of the stages, you know, later on, just to let you know what kind of ass whoopings I was getting. Anyway, that's all I got. Like and subscribe. Free Mac Martin, schwhoop-de-whoop, and, you know, play this game. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.